Recording in progress.
All right, everyone. We have this example in XAF Blazor, so I got a request to see it on Windows. So basically, as we remember, it's a dynamic list view that we can, for example, in this case, run a query. We can run it. You see that right away the grid populates the columns and the data. We can do the same thing if we change the table and so on. In this case, this is an example, but you can actually have another table with the columns name definition. You can have another table with the data. You basically, wherever it comes from, it doesn't matter. What you have is a dynamic way to populate your data and your grid. Implementation wise, as we did on Blazor, is a list editor. The interesting part here, list editor is still targeting the iQuery Resolve interface as we saw on the Blazor part, but right now in the create control score, then we basically build this layout. We create our panel, we create a table layout panel for the top position. Inside that one, the we're gonna add the text box and we're gonna add the button. So as we can see here that we are adding in each of those columns the text box and the button. Then we add our grid control, and with our grid control, then we also add it to the main panel as well as that uh, table layout panel. So basically right there we have our controls that we're building to have the top section as the text box and the button and the bottom section as the grid. And then after that is as we basically saw before, we're gonna execute our query, we're gonna get our data table, and then we're gonna use the data table as our data source, populate the columns, and here we go, a dynamic list view ready to use. So again, we have the grid view, everything that we can do in Windows, we will be doing XAF, everything that we can do in Blazor, we can do in XAF. It's just, if we're able to do it in Windows, then we bring that sample project as a list editor, as a property editor, or anything you need. All right, guys, that would be all for this video, and see you on the next one.